What's up, everybody? Welcome to Outside Perspective with me, Adam Meredith. I fucked up, guys. It's not the first time. I try to eliminate these things. But if you are listening on YouTube, there is no video for this particular episode. I thought I had it, didn't have it. These things happen. So, all audio this time. But no worries. Moving on. If you like the podcast, help me out. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, share this thing, let everybody know. Help us grow this. I really appreciate it. And if you are in the market for some CBD, check out those guys over at jumbosuperfoods.com. They're fucking awesome. I have the link in my show notes and it helps us out. So thank you. Last, if you are an artist, you have artist friends, please send me your music. You can send your music to Adam at imposedwill.com, ADAM at sign IMPOSEDWILL.com. Really appreciate it. Today's guest is ReaceYung, aka Brandon Baker. I know him as Brandon Baker. We go way back to like middle school, and he wasn't really a guy that honestly we weren't like really great friends in high school or anything like that. We kind of knew each other, but I've kind of kept my eye on the things that he's doing kind of throughout the years since then. He's a hip hop artist and his lyrics are pretty dope. So I wanted to touch base with him and just see what's going on with him and what's happening in the world of ReaceYung. So I think you will enjoy it. Check it out.
Oh, straight up, doesn't matter. It all equals down to the same guy.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Well, I'm gonna go with Brandon Baker.
It's cool.
Brandon
cool with that.
Baker.
I'm cool with that. That's what the checks say. I'm cool with that.
Or ReaceYung.
Yeah.
I don't know how'd you come up with ReaceYung?
Uh, be honest with you.
Yeah.
ReaceYung comes from all the aliases I've had since I was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
Put all together in one.
Well, what are those aliases?
BR Young, B Reace, Young B.
Yeah.
I went through a lot of transitions throughout these years since '99. I went through a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean we're all growing, right?
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I've been ReaceYung for about 11 years now.
Yeah.
And
That's where the
somebody come out with a name remotely close to that, I'm gonna have to have another growth spurt.
yeah.
But I haven't had that in a while.
So were some of the changes just kind of driven by like other names just popping up, and you just kind of looking for
Yeah.
your individuality within
Yeah.
the space?
Yeah, most definitely. Like a lot. This is one guy, at JC actually,
Uh huh.
and I didn't know the guy. And his name was B Reace. He's from another place.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know him, and I had to change it from there.
Uh huh.
But I had to. My own individuality was very important to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even back then, we never really knew each other as far as how we was doing back then, in school and everything. I was really heavy into music during school. I didn't even think that it was a lot of music things going on here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you remember, I was freestyling in the cafeteria one day, and they said it was a race riot.
Really?
Yeah, they printed it up, and they ran a whole article about it in the school newspaper and everything. It was weird.
I remember they ran an article in so yeah, this is in high school. So I remember they ran an article showing like a picture of the
Yeah.
cafeteria, and
Yeah.
there's like a clear cut line.
It
Like
was
here are
weird.
all the white kids, and like here are all the black kids over here.
It was weird. That coming from the inner city, transitioning to out here, it was totally different for me.
Yeah, so let's back up a little bit. Let's go there. So, because you're not from this central Missouri area of
No,
Jefferson City, Fulton, Columbia.
no,
You're from St.
no,
Louis?
sir. North City, 2900 Sullivan and Garrison.
Yeah,
All day long.
yeah, in the city.
But I came out here. I originally came out here when I was in middle school. I came out here. I was going to Blue at middle school on Cass
Yeah.
in St. Louis, and we had like a architect field trip
Uh
to
huh.
where I first went to JC. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? And we took it. I took it as a field trip, and that's my first time ever actually knowing about Jeff City, actually coming in for a field trip.
Really?
Yeah.
So I actually used to live on a 13th in Cass.
Really?
Yeah, right there on 13th Street.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I lived there for about a year, and so at that time, so have you ever really left the city too much or traveled a whole lot, or like
Yeah,
what was it like as like kind of growing up in that area? Because you hear stories, right?
yeah.
But like when you talk to people who've actually lived there, like they never match, the horror stories.
Well,
Sometimes they do though. So what was your experience like?
but to be completely honest, those horrors was normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And like coming from where I come from, things like that was a normal thing.
it's just life.
Yeah, that was just like it's like drinking water. That was a normal thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I say around 2002, I transitioned from the inner city out to Jeff City, and it was total culture shock for
Was
me.
it a culture shock? I can
Super,
imagine.
super. But that's not the only place I've lived. I've lived in Pensacola, Florida, as well,
Oh yeah.
and I lived there for about good 6 years. Came back to St. Louis. I was a little kid then.
Mhm.
Yeah, I done been a little bit of
Kind of bounced around a little
yeah.
bit.
I've been out of the country a few times as well.
Oh, nice. Where at?
My grandmother took me to Mexico and China.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Yeah, when I was a little kid.
See, that's good you got those experiences as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think, it opens your mind up to possibilities and just different ways of life.
Um, I can remember when we was over there. I said some of the most silliest shit, man. I was actually that's when I found out that what we eat in St. Louis is like homeless food. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really like crab ragoons and chicken fried rice. That's what they eat.
It's like street
The
food.
homeless, like that's what homeless people eat there.
Really?
And then like it was bothering me that they when I get back home like wow they made a killing off of homeless food and we idolize it and raise it to this high standard when it's actually homeless people food.
That's interesting.
It was weird for me.
Really? So what did like the more like higher class people eat typically? Do you remember?
I don't know. I had my grandmother got an interpreter and he found out what I wanted to eat.
Oh yeah.
And once they actually made it, it didn't look like how it looks over here.
Yeah.
They don't know what St. Louis style Chinese rice is. Like it was weird, man. It
Well,
was
St.
weird.
Louis, but hey, St. Louis rice is there's nothing like that in the
Oh no!
world.
Oh no! Oh no!
That
Of course not.
is something special.
Of course it is, man. And I was fortunate enough to have a lot of culture shocking experiences as a kid that kind of like broke the mold for me, as a kid. So I really didn't just stick to the norm. I've had a chance to see a little bit of different horizons. And everything.
Yeah, that really matters.
Yeah.
Having those experiences. Does that play an influence in like your music today?
Um.
Those early
Yeah.
experiences.
Life experience. Period plays a difference in my music.
Well, what are your influences as far as what are like your musical influences? What's your introduction to music? What you know what I mean? Like what
Well, to be completely honest
what's
with
the
you,
beginning for you?
um, you want me to start from the beginning?
Yeah, man, what's the beginning of your musical experience? Because
Um,
I mean, that's what I'm really
I'm gonna
interested
really
in.
roll back the tape, and being from North City, we had two music stores in our family in St. Louis. And one of them was called Downtown CDs and Tapes down there on 4th Street. You know what I'm saying? And the other one on my daddy's side was actually before my time. By the time I was of age, it was like laundromat or candy store or something like that. But it was a record store before.
Okay.
And growing up, I've always had a music background, and I was always into music. I was into the disc jockey version of music more so than the MC side.
Okay.
I had to grow and nurture and develop that side of it, you know. And when I was in high school in Roosevelt, you know, I actually school had to like stop, you know, because like kids, you know, kids was leaving out of their classrooms to come see the latest music that I had. Back in those times, I was selling everybody else's albums
Oh,
because we had that was when the real mixtape era started.
oh, you're hustling the
Yeah,
mixtapes.
like I was really like there wasn't my mixtapes. These was like known guys, known
Mhm.
industry guys already, and this was around early 2000s, and when the mixtape era was like
Yeah.
back dead on, and I was making a killing in high school, and
Yeah,
it got to
man.
the point to where I got in trouble because it was causing so much friction in high school as far as the teachers being able to teach.
Bro.
Kids was just getting up, walking out of class, going to the class I was at to see what I had. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I got in trouble for that.
Oh, well, you're a little entrepreneur.
Yeah, I was really like, yeah, I could make one status right now on Facebook, like, who remember that? Like, and it'd probably get crazy a little bit,
That's funny.
you know. But I had to, doing in the midst of that, man, I had to literally stop that, and you know, I started getting in trouble and following the wrong crowd. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the city, and my pop wasn't having that, so he just snatched me up, and next thing you know, I was at Thomas Jefferson. You know, and that's when the culture shock began.
Yeah, I bet that was just a complete 180 as far as the
Yeah,
people.
the whole scenery was a whole 180 for me.
For real. I don't know. You might not remember this. We actually had class together, and it might have been like sixth or seventh grade. I don't remember the year, but I remember this shit, and it's so funny now. But I was like in the back of the
What I do,
classroom.
man? Did I
You
do
did pants
something?
me like
Oh, what?
I was in the back of the classroom, and like I was just sharpening my pencil, and like you just pulled my shorts down. You did pants me. It's the funniest shit though when you think about it. Like that's what kids fucking do, man.
Dude, I did that.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Whoa,
I think so.
we don't do that where I'm from. That's kind of weird, but
Maybe
I don't know. That's kind of like
I'm pretty sure because I almost got into a scuffle with this other kid. His name was do you remember him? His name was Tony. He was a light skinned dude. I'm pretty sure. I was just like but like I look back on that and I'm just like it's just funny. Like that's what kids like. Kids are just
what?
silly as shit.
Now was I the one that was standing there?
What?
You know, like because a lot of times, you know, I was always a big guy, and kids
Anything's
was
possible.
kids was a lot faster than me, and they'd do something then hide behind me,
That
or
could have been it.
you know, like
See,
I would
and here's the
never do
thing, and
that
here's
like
my memory. So here's my memory. So now that I'm sitting here talking to you about it, maybe you didn't do it.
that.
Maybe I just fucking remember it wrong. In all these years, I'm just like, damn, man, maybe
Oh,
wow, he's fucking.
that's crazy.
Like I don't feel like any sort of way about it,
Right.
but it's just like this memory that I've had,
All
and
this time?
and maybe it's fucking completely wrong.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's funny.
That's like a thing where you know kids from out here that come up out here. That's something that they would do. You know what I'm saying? Like
Kids
where
are
I'm
fucking
from,
silly.
we didn't walk up on people and pull their pants down. They just kind of weird. Like we just did. I just don't would never see myself doing that.
Well, if like I remember correctly, like you were just sitting in your chair and like you just turned around and just did it.
You know what, man? I was a bad kid. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe you
So
did, maybe you
I
didn't.
probably did. I don't know, man. I
Anything's
coulda
fucking
did it.
possible. I mean, kids do silly shit for a laugh.
Yeah, and I was more so on the class clown side of things, so I probably could have done it. You
Who
know what I'm
knows?
saying? I don't know.
It's not a big deal.
Sorry.
I don't care.
Totally fucking sorry. I would never do this shit. That's crazy, man. That's
Dude,
crazy.
I used to do some silly ass shit as a kid, man. Silly ass shit, man. Just I can think of times like in elementary school, like kind of being a little bit of a bully, like for
Right.
no fucking reason. Like why would kids are just shitheads.
Well, I know you was a wrestling guy, you
In
know.
high school, I was.
And I remember you and Bagby had like a big fight.
We did in
Yeah, that was like the talk of the
that was in eighth grade.
yeah, that was like the talk of the school for a while. Like that, I remember that shit.
Yeah, I just remember getting beat up by Will.
Oh
I just
shit!
he was just really mad at me one for out of nowhere. He was just fucking mad. Like he kind of had anger issues, and he got mad, and I was just like, man, I'm not gonna be no fucking punk about this.
Right.
I just like stood up. I thought maybe he was gonna push me, and I was gonna hit him first because that's what kids usually did. Not Will. He hit me, hit me
Wow.
immediately. Yeah, and then we just kind of scuffled on the ground a little bit.
Man, I heard he was in prison.
He is now. Well, he did go to prison, and then yeah, I think he's back in prison. I don't know all the
Yeah, I
circumstances.
don't either.
I just tend to distance myself from negativity. I don't. I'm not about that shit. So if there's like a lot of negative surrounding any sort of person, I just go my own way.
Man, I feel it's the best way to be, man. Free Mr. Bagby. I don't know the circumstances either.
Yeah.
I wish him his best and to his family and everything.
Yeah. Hopefully he does well in the future. You gotta make better choices.
Where,
Yeah. Yeah. So current day, or actually, hold on. I don't want to jump too much time. When did you actually your hustle mixtapes? You got
hmm
in. You came to Jeff City.
hmm
Uh, when did you kind of find your path into actually like rhyming and being an MC?
Well, being from St. Louis, like nobody cared to be an MC. Everybody we're more of a dance city than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time I transitioned from St. Louis to Jeff City, I met Marco. And I met Marco. Then I met my man Grind. You know what I'm saying? His name is Antoine Grant. Shout out to my brothers and everything. He's here now. And he pretty much kind of like taught me everything I know. I kind of like, I was a real young guy around Marco and Grind. We actually started this group. Well, they started it, and it was called Black Pro. And I kind of was like one of the most prominent students that they had. Like these guys were so fluid with their music and on it, and I was the one that was sitting back taking notes, listening, and they was my man Antoine Grind, Gerard Arville, that's what he called himself. He kind of like just started like hooking like when you have a fight and you get hurt, you got to rehabilitate. You know, he kind of like rehabilitated me with like nothing but hip hop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it was so different for me that I got overloaded on it. You know what I'm saying? Being from St. Louis, we're a flyover state. Missouri is a flyover state. Everybody fly over us to get to where they're going.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about hip hop like that. I didn't know that that was a way of life. I didn't know that, you know, I didn't know that there was levels. I didn't know any of that.
Oh.
It's kind of like he started training me for like lyrical kung fu, and like, and I came to the table with so much as a young guy that, what I'm saying, I possessed so much and didn't know, what I'm saying, already.
Yeah.
And like, he gets kind of like, he showed me how to like orchestrate my rhymes and, write songs and a lot of different stuff. He showed me a lot of things that I know today, and he's still continuing to show me. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting crazy.
It's good to have that mentor.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's kind of been like these guys have been like my life coaches since I was like 17.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? More like even outside of music, they've been there for me more than my own family has. You know what I'm saying? And like I owe those guys a lot of credit, especially Marco.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just whenever you came up, you're like, yeah, that's my brother. There's like, there's no no beat missed in that state. Like, you're just like, yeah.
Like yeah, like
I'm like, oh shit, word, I didn't even know.
like don't get me wrong, like no, we're Masonic brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're not blood brothers or nothing, but we it's just as we're
Yeah.
blood brothers.
Yeah, I mean, family doesn't necessarily have to be blood.
Where we was homeless together, so we kind of like have a very real experience of why our brotherhood is so deep.
Oh, whoa. Okay, so we can't gloss over that. You're homeless?
Yeah, yeah. Me and Marco, We were actually homeless around 2010, 2011.
Really?
And yeah, like it just we just didn't have anywhere to stay, man. You know what I mean? And it was a dark time in our lives.
Yeah. What led to those circumstances? You
You
feel?
know, I actually got kicked out. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? My mom, she kind of kicked me out. Like, I came out here to live with her, and I guess I wasn't living with her for the last, like, almost 8 years.
Uh huh.
And when I got out here, she had to really kind of like really relearn who I was. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't work. I was the oldest at that time, so it just didn't work, man. We had a lot of. I come from a real rugged background, you know what I'm saying, and it was just bad. So she just kicked me out,
Yeah.
and I had to get it how I had to get it, and Marco, he was on his own too. We kind of just like bonded together.
Yeah. Just some young guys trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and music really kept us together. They kept us away from like doing things that would lead us in jail, and music really kept us nailed down.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So then that kind of was at the birth of kind of the studio and the label and
Blue House.
yeah.
Blue House is more of a new monster.
Okay.
Blue House derives from so many different things, so many different elements that we've went through the years. Blue House is Black Pro, all of that through the years combined into what we are today.
Yeah.
And we're gonna relaunch it again.
So okay. So what was it? What was it at first?
It was everything. It was black. It was Grid House. It's Grid House now. That's what it is now. Blue House is kind of like over with.
Okay.
And Marco goes through so many growth spurts.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be something else 3-4 years from now.
Yeah.
Like he just transitions like that now with my new nephews and everything. Like I never know what space he in right now. So he will. Hey, this is what it is right now. So
Yeah.
we're changing again. Like that's just we just
Well, I
level
mean,
up all the
yeah.
time.
I mean, growth is key, and yeah, too many people get stuck in this idea of like, well, I said I'm this today,
Right.
and now I have to be this tomorrow.
No, that's not Marco at all. Like he would transition within a blink of an eye. That's it. When he grow, he literally grows.
Yeah.
And everything around him grows.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful to share these experiences with a person like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never met nobody like him, and he actually hated me when we first met each other.
For real?
He thought I was trash. Like he used to just tell me all the time, "Yo, Reese, you're trash. Get out of my face. You don't know how to make a single yet." And he was right. I didn't know how to make a single or nothing like that. I just knew how to go off the top of my head and just that'll be what it is. And the minute that I just stopped rhyming, there came a time where he made me stop rapping.
Really?
Yeah, like I listened to him so much that I literally stopped and went into the back cave. And that's when I just started like getting sharp. I just went in the train. Like how you go, like say for instance you put on a few pounds, you gotta go get it off. You
Yeah.
go get in straight train mode, and that's what I done lyrically.
Yeah.
And then I came out, next thing you know, I was ready.
Hmm. What made you if like with him kind of being so hard on you, what made you keep coming back for that?
Well, I come from an abusive family, and for him to tell me my records was trash, I was used to that.
That wasn't shit for you.
No, but if I wasn't like, I became addicted to his head, like really bobbing while he's recording me.
Okay.
And if he's not doing that, the music is trash.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He easily, no matter how long I would spend on a record or records, he would, yo, B, you could do a lot better than this.
Yeah.
It's trash. And he could literally just be joking around sometimes, and I literally scrap it and start from scratch all over again.
Really?
So for him just to, have me under that constant pressure for years, I became what I am now.
Yeah.
So now when I go in, it's just flawless, and things that I do become flawless, like over records. And hey,
Yeah.
hey, the practice makes perfect.
Yeah, man. Well, that makes me it makes me think of a quote that Mike, my old wrestling coach, made
Mm-hmm.
me think of used to say pressure is a privilege.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like if a coach wasn't putting pressure on you, like if a mentor isn't paying attention to you, say something to you, then they don't care.
Word.
So pressure is a
Agreed.
pressure. So it's like pressure can bust pipes, but it also makes diamonds.
Most definitely, yes. And he definitely put a lot of pressure on me, especially when our family broke up, our Black Pro family. Shout out to everybody that got locked down. Everybody don't make the best decisions in life, but me and Marco, we stuck together through a lot of trials and tribulations, and he really pushed me. He pushed me a lot. He was always supportive. You know what I'm saying? And I don't come from a big support system.
Yeah,
I come from a sector where not everybody really knows how to support. Like if we're not on the same level, you know what I mean? I don't really know how to support a person that's on the level that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like the section that I come from.
yeah.
And I still battle with that to this day.
So what do you mean when you say like they're not on the level that you're on?
No, like being from a family that, everybody pretty much does the same thing.
Yeah.
When you that eyeball that you choose to do something else other than go with the wave of what everybody else does,
Okay.
it kind of gets weird. And that's kind of like how my family is as far as like my mother, brothers and sisters. I have brothers and sisters, and they don't really. I was the one that went left when everybody else went right.
Okay. So like you see it, I see that a lot just kind of in society in general, kind of at all levels. It's kind of like if you're not following the norm,
Yeah,
whatever that norm is,
word.
then everybody wants to pull you down to their level. Like if you're just trying to do something better or just something different, it's just like, well, what are you doing that for?
Right.
Why are you doing that? Like you think you're better than what we're doing? Like you can't do this?
Yeah. And we have a lot of issues that derive from things like that. But I kind of just through the years, I just tried to stay strong. I've had Marco, he didn't do nothing but help usher me through a lot of life issues that I had,
Yeah.
and um, I just kept moving, man. Even to this day, it kind of shocks my family still that my record made the Billboard charts.
Yeah, that's dope. Let's talk about that. What?
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me about the album and tell all the folks kind of what you got going on there.
Well, my tape, "Unlucky Me," that was one of five actually. That is like the first section of this 5-part series that I have of like different auras and bodies of music. And Marco chose for that one to be first. Why? I have no clue. A lot of those songs come from my personal archive. Like American Made. Nobody will ever know. American Made is almost 6 years old.
Oh really? It
You
was a
know what I'm
good out. It was
saying?
a good song.
And that's one of Marco's favorite songs.
Yeah, I like that song too.
He wrote that song and he produced that song. He didn't write the lyrics as far as on my part, but everything else he wrote it.
Okay.
And I love when Marco writes. His pen is crazy. And that song, and what else is on that joint? The Truth. You got so many other different records that I've had that come from, once again, my personal archive. Like I have a big archive of music that sometimes when it's time for me to put out a tape, I will go through and put some of the coolest records together. They have to sound. They have to sound like they go with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just I didn't think that I could hit the billboards, man. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't. So I actually cried like a motherfucker.
So which billboard exactly did you hit?
Me, the Northwest Central, from all over the world. That's what they classify this as,
Okay.
right? This section here, Northwest Central.
Okay.
Missouri, we smack that in the middle, so
Yeah.
they classify it as that hip hop and R&B joints around that time.
Okay. Yeah, cause I don't really know a lot about it. So.
I didn't know either, but me peeking on their charts and having people support Unlucky Me project, I found out what I hit at. You know what I'm saying? And now I know through that experience, I know my next time what I can possibly do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my next joint, Dirty Joe, that's That should be released in the next few weeks, and it's not produced by Marco. He mixes and masters it, but he don't have any production on it. My man Jay Sonata, I met him at Lincoln University back in 2009, 2010,
Okay.
maybe 2008. I've known Jay Sonata for years. Me Too is what everybody calls him. I call him that too. But that's my next project. I have so many more after that. Like I said, that's a 5 part. That's like a 5 part series.
Okay.
It's Unlucky Me, Dirty Joe, Thoughts at Random Rise. Um, what else is it? Blind Sullivan Kid.
Okay.
What else I got? What else I got? And Unlucky Me, that one already released. But did I forget one? I'm thinking I'm forgetting one.
Yeah, I think you said unlucky me twice,
I
but
did. I know it's Unlucky Me, Blind Sullivan Kid, Dirty Joe, Thoughts at Random Rise. What was the fifth one? Have I created the fifth one? I'll get back to you on that one.
okay, it's in the works.
I'll get back to you on that one. Let me go to the drawing board.
which, which one are you looking forward to the most, or are
Um,
you just happy about just kind of the entire series?
to be honest with you, man,
Can you
a
pick your
lot of
favorite
them,
child?
a lot of them have different love because a lot of them is pulled from different parts of me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they're all small little parts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is eventually gonna lead back to my original, the cassette series that I put out.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I put out the cassette, 2011. My first cassette side A, I put it out in 2011. Nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew that I put it out. I really didn't know how to market my music then.
It's a big part of it.
My man, shout out to my man Sharif. Sharif recorded it. And around that time it was a rough time for me because I was recording music while I was taking care of my grandmother. You
Oh.
know what I'm saying? And I was even in studio sessions with my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't able to really hit my mark the way that I wanted to hit it because, I had to look after her. And it was a real stressful time for me. You know what I'm saying? I was breaking down crying in the studio because my music and my brain wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to come out. And I was just getting really frustrated, dealing with a lot of life stress and everything. But people just kept on asking me, like small amounts of people that listen to my music was like, "Yo, we come on, man, you the only dude around here with this type of sound and make this type of music. Where it's at, we waiting on it." And I just was like, all right. So I kind of mustered up and started the engine and got everything going, and I got it out. I put it out, and that's one thing starting a project. Finishing it is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, you gotta finish.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm Marco definitely stays on me about that, and I'm very keen and big on that.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely like to sit down and talk with him. He seems, I've only kind of been around him one time, and he has a lot of energy.
Yeah, he's a handful. You know what I'm saying? And he's a super handful. He's a great guy,
Yeah,
great energy, great spirit. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for that spirit.
yeah. So he's constantly pushing you. He's constantly on you to
Word,
finish.
word. Then next thing you know, we got together again and done it again. Cassette side B. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I started to understand what was really happening. I can create music all day, but knowing how to work my music is a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
So I done side B. I put it out. I printed up 500 copies of that. That's it. You know what I'm saying? This was my shot. Because I'm like I said, I work for a school. You know what I'm saying? I do other little things. This was my time to figure out. Being 29, 28, 29 at the time, this was my shot to figure out. Okay, if people really don't rock with this, like side A, then you know what? Maybe it's time for me to hang it up. You know what I'm
oh
saying? I
yeah.
literally felt
That's
that
kind of where
way.
you were at that point.
That's where I was. And I actually was praying one night, you know what I'm saying, when I was going through the trials and tribulations of putting out side B. And I was talking to God, like for real, in my living room. And next thing you know, he was like, you know what, man, he blessed me with all these skills, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hang it up. Next thing you know, I just start choking in my home. I just start choking late at night. My girl couldn't hear me. I couldn't scream. I couldn't do nothing. And it got to the magnitude of me falling over my couches and everything because I was panicking. So, to be honest, I sat there and I was like, okay, okay, okay. Me and my relationship with the Heavenly Father is totally different than most. You know what I'm saying? I sat there and was like, you know what? I apologize for being so disrespectful, of being, what I'm saying, of not appreciating the God given talent that I have and things like that. I literally ran down the whole nine to the Heavenly Father. Next thing you know, I was good. And I told him I was never going to do that again. Next thing you know, I could breathe again. And it was weird. And experiences like that, what I'm saying, really give me a lot of insight on what's really going on.
Yeah, does it do you feel like that gives you just like an added like just like to have that true belief in what you're doing?
Right,
You know what I mean? Because
right,
it's like cuz I feel like to reach any level of success or just if you're just trying to go for any sort of greatness, like you have to believe it. Like you have to already know that it's happened. Like
right,
it's already done. Like this work that I'm doing now, like I'm gonna look back on it and like this is gonna be like these are the fucking best times. Like I'm living the best times right now,
right,
and the success is inevitable. It's already done. I just got to do this work now.
right. Most
But
definitely.
having that belief and just knowing like that's the case, like that's necessary.
Dude, like for real, like, and that's what let me know, that I really need to keep going. And then after that, I start asking the Creator for signs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of spiritual things out here in the world or whatever. People coming up with all these cool things to say. I actually wanted to see things on my own. So I started putting that energy out into the atmosphere. Like, I want you to give me a sign. If this is what I'm supposed to keep doing, just give me a sign, you know? And next thing you know, 2000, early 2000s, middle 2000s, whatever, around the time me and Grits met and went to Memphis and sold our first record, I had the first chance to meet Carlos Brody. Carlos Brody is one of the original Bad Boy producers.
Okay.
And he made a lot of Biggie records that I was listening to. And I was down there and in the studio with those guys, you know. And Marco was like, "Yeah, man, get your ass up, take your headphones off, man. Go ahead, introduce yourself, man. You just sitting there and just you don't even know who that man is. Go talk to him, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
You're a cool guy, you know what I'm saying? Old school cop, you know what I mean? And I went up to him, walked up to him, introduced myself, and he asked me what I was listening to on my iPod. This was some years ago. This when we had those fat little iPods.
Yeah.
So I'm just, had my joint rocking, and he asked me what I was listening to. I told him I was listening to What's Beef. I was listening to the original B.I.G. album. He was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, I made that. Y'all still rocking to that?" And I had to take my headphones off for a second. Like, yo, what? Like, you made what? Yeah, man. I made a lot of those joints. Oh yeah, I made What's Beef. He showed me the sample and everything. Started running down through so much other stuff that he
Whoa.
created, and I was just sitting there like, whoa, okay, man, get the fuck out of here. Like
Like
I really was
you,
sitting there. Being from Missouri, what I'm saying, I don't really get starstruck much because we don't see stars for real.
yeah, they're not around here.
I don't really see a lot of popular people, so I'm sitting there like, yo, you really made that shit, man. Yeah, man, such and such, such and such, man. I've known him for years. Good guy, and that was my first sign. You know what I'm saying? And we got to chopping it up, and I asked him, Notorious B.I.G. is the reason why I do what I do. Because he was a heavy set guy, you know what I'm saying? And, coming up in the inner city, I was really teased a lot, and I knew when I had the power of that microphone, I wasn't really teased much. You know what I'm saying? So as a young kid, I kind of really idolized B.I.G. because of his size, and he had so much style, him and Big Pun. But back to the B.I.G. story, man, that was my first sign meeting
Yeah.
Carlos Brody as far as like keeping going with music and being inspired.
Yeah, well, I mean, the energy you put out is, the energy that you receive,
Word.
and sometimes, yeah, sometimes you just cross paths with those right people that keep
It
you
was crazy.
motivated.
It was crazy. I eventually got some production from Carlos Brody. I didn't get a chance to use it because he sold it, but that's still my man, and we definitely got some things rocking and cooking for the future.
That's dope. That's dope. So Biggie was that's your reason there. Like that's your early influence.
Notorious B.I.G., Big Pun, Jay Z, Cool G Rap,
Yeah, that's what you're listening to. Kind of, you think that
yeah,
kind of influenced your style a little bit.
yeah, yeah, most definitely, without a doubt. Because I ain't really know. Like one thing about me, a lot of people call it weird. A lot of people call it strange. I don't listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I've worked in our family has music stores and I have a big background, I don't listen to a lot of music. I listen to what I think is cool for as my spirit and my ears. I don't listen to what everybody else think is cool. Like like right now, since Big died, I kind of feel like Jay Z replaced him,
Yeah.
and I've been listening to Jay ever since Big died. But when Big was alive, I wasn't listening to Jay.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There was no reason for me to listen to him. But when Big died, I was listening to Jay. When Pac died, I kind of like just trends. I was actually that little kid that was sitting in front of the TV crying that Pac had died.
Yeah.
Biggie had died. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because those was like big things.
Yeah, I remember when Pac died.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was actual big things. But yeah, just because of Big size and his style and charisma, I wanted that like as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of power with his words.
Yeah, and that really started to groom who I am to this day.
Okay.
And Big Pun definitely. You know,
Yeah, he was ill.
he big guys with superior lyricism that I always wanted to be in that light. And being from Missouri is kind of hard, but I had to I had to stay on my target and I had to keep practicing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now around here, around this region, little area here, as far as the underground scene, I'm pretty much one of the heavy hitters
Yeah.
as far as supreme lyricism. It doesn't really exist around here for real. As far as like originality and a lot of things, it really doesn't exist. But back to the initial thing, yeah, man, that's Notorious B.I.G. is the reason why I try to rhyme and try to have a lot of style. And I don't emulate B.I.G., I used to. What I'm saying? I used to emulate Jay-Z a lot too,
Yeah.
because being from Missouri, we don't really have nobody to show us how to really rock the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a student before I was an MC,
Yeah.
and I listened to these guys so much, man. And there came a time where in my life now where I had to break away from all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can easily, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to copy off of somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to do, but how easy is it to be an original? And being from where I'm from, all we have to look at is the arch. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be something else. You know what I'm saying, for the city to look at as far as hip hop goes. You know.
Yeah, no, for sure, because it's definitely, you have to know who you are. I think that's probably a pretty common, path travel for a lot of artists. When you're young,
Mhm.
you're still kind of learning who you are. You just kind of emulate,
Right.
who you're listening to, or and I mean, you still see that in even well-developed artists. It's like, oh, he definitely has an obvious influence of insert whoever.
Right.
That's interesting that you kind of listen to a very like small like amount of people
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah. Now I do rock to some new school guys. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick, love Kendrick.
Yeah.
Kendrick came out. What? Well, I've heard of Kendrick years ago, but didn't know that his name changed. You know what I'm saying? But when Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City came out, I really felt the I really felt the growth spurt from the industry for us putting him out
Yeah.
because he was definitely needed.
Yeah, I dug once. Yeah, once I heard that, then I dug into his earlier albums that he
Oh
had put
yeah,
out,
oh
and
yeah,
then just I dug into that entire record label. Fucking, I'm drawing a blank now from
The
everybody who's
TDE guys, they're
yeah, all
crazy.
those TDE guys. But fucking, who else on TDE?
Well, from my knowledge, you got it's a lot of people now, but I remember just Kendrick,
I
um,
don't know why I'm blanking on everybody's name.
J
Oh
Rock,
yeah, J
Schoolboy
Rock,
Q.
Schoolboy Q, Absol.
Yeah,
I love Absol.
yeah, those guys are
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
glad you said that. I just drew a complete blank there.
Those
But
guys are crazy.
yeah, no, that was it's because like whenever I was growing up, man, like the very first CD that I bought was the Friday soundtrack.
Word, the
Man,
original.
yeah, man. Oh fuck,
That's crazy.
that was my first CD I ever bought, and I had that shit on replay.
Hell yeah.
Man, I love that shit. But man, I've listened to music from all eras, from all across the country. Like anything I could get my hands on, I was listening to. Like I would trade. Like I had a whole like collection, and then like my best friend, like my brother Tony, like he had it, and then like we trade, and then like I had an uncle that had like a huge collection. I got all his music, and then
Yeah.
like I would just get everybody's music. So like I had everything from like the 70s all the way to the current at that time, from like the south to the east to like the west coast. Like I loved it all. Like
Word.
I just wanted all the music.
That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
man. Like I was listening to like Too Short and E40 and The Click and and Mac 10 and just everybody from the West Coast. And then like I'm also listening to like Do or Die and Twista and Bone
Oh
Thugs
yeah.
and like and then I'm going down and like I'm listening to Devin the Dude and Scarface and fucking Ghetto Boys and just and Trick Daddy and then you got obviously like the Wu Tang and Nas and just so many people, MF Doom, like all obscure people
Yeah.
from the mainstream to the obscure. Like there's just so many artists. Like
Marco loves MF Doom.
yeah, MF goes
That's
hard,
his man.
man. Yeah, he just put out a new collab album not that long ago.
Really.
Yeah. I listened to so much music, and like I always, and for a while there, I used to pride myself like, oh man, anything that's coming out on like on the underground scene, I was on it. Like I was on that piff. Like anything that was coming out, I was
Right.
looking for it, man. So
You
I was
gonna
just
think
trying to
this?
get it all.
You gonna think this is really weird? You know, Black Thought. I just got into Black Thought.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I never always looked at it rap as like a hierarchy thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I always thought if he was the GOAT, that's all I need to be listening to.
hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like and I thought Jay is the GOAT from my perspective. But, there's guys that watch Jay, you know what I'm saying, lyrically in some points. And I growing still being young in hip hop, underground hip hop, I still am new to a lot of different aspects of it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Once again, it comes back to being a Missouri guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not exposed to so much things like these other guys are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just now getting into Black Thought, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, his pen is amazing as far as, like, his lyrical skill and the heights and levels that he's taking things.
yeah.
And it's scary because I'm wondering why aren't people paying attention?
So tell the folks about Black Thought who might not know.
Well, Black Thought, he's a Philly artist, well-rounded, seasoned Philly MC, and he's actually the rapper from the Roots. That's what everybody pretty much can connect with him and
Right,
know who
kind of
he
an
is.
easier place
The
to put
the
them.
only rapper from the Roots, and he's just
Yeah.
dude. He's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
How cerebral some of these people get with their rhymes, or just this. Like for me, what really put me on to like the structure and like the intricacies of like rhymes was
Yeah.
it was Scarface, and
Really.
he would talk about like rhyme structure, like rhyming certain words like in different bars and like in just the way you place it, like you hear him talk about it, I'm just like, holy fuck, man. It's just like he has like a PhD in rhyming. Like he's just so fucking good, man.
He is he's definitely a legend. Shout out to Scarface. He's definitely a legend. One of the original Ghetto Boys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is. But there are just so many guys like that.
Right.
There's so many. Did you like Lupe Fiasco? Were you into him?
Honestly, when Lupe first came out, I thought he was cool.
Yeah.
He reminded me so much of Jay-Z with the way that his style was.
Uh huh.
But I grew to really like him.
Yeah.
I grew to really like him. Once I really found out that he was a Midwest guy, I was like, oh,
Yeah, Chicago
we
cat.
got one. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
really kind of just clung to him, man.
Yeah.
I really wish he was more into the forefront of what's going on, but it just seems like he's so conscious that he just plays the back end of what's going on, and his real supporters still support his music.
Yeah.
But I really wish I could see more of him.
Yeah, he just dropped a new album.
Yeah, yeah. What was it called? Waves or something.
Dragos something.
I
I don't
I
know.
kept on seeing him print
There's
up stuff called Waves or something like that. I don't
yeah, I
know.
don't know. There's so much music.
Yeah,
Do you have Apple? I have Apple Music on my phone.
yeah.
And
I have it too.
yeah, it's just it's a blessing and a curse
Right.
because
The way we get music is so different now. It's
yeah. Do you think do you find that kind of I feel like that can be like twofold. Like it can be like a good thing because it makes distribution of music easier. Like everybody kind of has a voice now.
hmm
There's not that same like in the old days to where you had to get like a big record label contract and like they were the funnel. Like
hmm
now people can put out music, but on that same note, because of that, it can almost be congested, and or maybe it might be harder to get your voice heard.
Of
Do
course.
you think that's the case?
Well, in the case for me,
Yeah, or like, what do you think about that?
well, in my case, in any working artist case, it depends on your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it matters that the game is really oversaturated. People wanting to be like rappers overnight. You know what I'm saying? It could be a little overwhelming. Just kind of like when you starting out with your MMA stuff. You know what I mean? Like a lot of guys just kind of randomly was like, okay, I want to do that too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like it could get a little oversaturated. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
at the end of the day, the true ones that really stuck with what they was doing, you know what I'm saying? They still here, and the ones that really didn't,
yeah,
that really just didn't really care for real, they kind of fell off.
yeah. I think that's the key to any success. It's just putting in the fucking work
Word,
and doing it long enough.
word, and
You know what
like
I mean? Like Ritz, like he talks about, it took him 17 years to make it. I don't know if you're familiar with that
Ritz
rapper.
guy with the long hair,
Yeah, long red hair.
super lyrical. I
He's
like
so-
him. He's with Tech Nine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, man, he's ill, but like it took him 17 years. I mean, I just feel like even just from what I've noticed from like the guys who are in high school who are like kind of putting out music, like
hmm
the only ones I can think of that are still doing it are like you're doing it, and then you're even like you're like on a quiet hustle. Like I didn't even really know like you were like this was like your thing for the long. Like I saw,
Word,
yeah. Well, when you put out the cassette side A and B, I was like, oh shit, like for real.
yeah,
Like he's been doing his thing. Like he's still out here push. Like I
yeah,
heard you talk about it some, but I'm
yeah.
just like, well, where's the music? Where's the music?
That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
and you just don't ever know what anybody's doing, man.
yeah,
So and like I think of the person in the forefront of my mind who I've always had the most experience with is Fred Moore.
yeah.
And
That's my
like
man.
yeah, I mean I've been friends with Fred since he moved like here from Detroit. So like I just see like where
That was
he's at.
crazy for me. I didn't know Fred was originally from Detroit.
Yeah, man, I remember he came. It was ninth grade. It was football. We were out. I think it was during the summer event, and we were doing like a football workout. He showed up, and I was like, we're like, who's this cat? And
Yeah.
I'm sure he was just like, man, these corny ass corn fed. He's like, I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, little, he know like we ready to play. Like we balling,
Hey,
dog.
Fred is hilarious, bro. He's hilarious.
Yeah, man, I love that guy. I had him on the podcast. I can't. Yeah, so. But I just see the progress. Like you just keep hustling, you keep grinding, like
Shout
you
out
just
to
you
Fred. He is grinding.
yeah, man, like you just keep doing it, and eventually, like whether it's music or whether it doesn't fucking matter what it is, business, it doesn't matter. Like A plus B equals C. Like you put in the work,
Yeah.
you will get there.
Me and Fred actually supposed to do some work. We ain't got around to it yet.
Yeah,
But once it happens, it's gonna be crazy for
it'll be
out here.
killer, man. Especially just with where you guys are at
Yeah.
today, just with the skills and
Hell yeah.
that would be dope,
That's
man.
good. We already got something to make it with Marco.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we just have, Fred's in Cali, I'm here. But that's nothing. We're gonna link up and get it together. It just
I
we
would like
haven't
to
really
see it.
locked down yet, but
Yeah.
we gonna get it in there.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Like I said, the one time I did hang out with Marco, it was at like a mutual friend, Big Rob.
Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our Masonic brother.
Yeah, so he it was I don't know, he was doing something for like maybe the fourth or something, but Marco was there. And then I think maybe somebody came over later on the day. It might have even been you, but I heard him upstairs listening to beats. I was like, "Oh shit." Like, and then Rob was like, "Yeah, man, he's a producer. He makes beats and stuff." And I
Yeah.
was like, these are the illest beats
Oh,
I had ever heard. I'm like he's making those.
yeah.
And then ever since then, I was just this huge fan. Just kind of been watching and
Yeah.
seeing. And I've always wanted Fred to work with him.
He should. Like, I think Grits is gonna work with him. You know, I don't really know if they really chopped it up yet. I think
Yeah,
they
I don't know if
have.
they do or not. I just like to see people that I know work together.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna work together. You know, Fred's and Cali. We haven't really linked it up yet. How Grits gonna work with him? I
I
think
mean,
so.
life is long. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we got time. We gonna get in there. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It's a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys that won't work with us though, man. Like I don't know. Being out here when we travel to like bigger places like Cali, artists are so unified. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Out here, you know what I'm saying? We don't really have the unity. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own thing going, and it's kind of like we're all chasing the common dream, so we shouldn't work with each other. Like
yeah. That's a real scarcity
yeah,
mindset.
it's really
Yeah,
silly. But
yeah. There's enough for everybody.
me and Fred definitely gonna work, and we got a lot of other things going too. But Fred is doing his thing out there in Cali. Shout out to Fred.
Yeah, yeah. He's hustling, man. He's got his hands in a lot of different things.
Do you remember the JC Killers?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember those motherfuckers, man. Like, I used to try to rock. I used to try to get in there and drop a few lines. I used to always be the dude at Marlon crib just sitting over there in the corner just waiting. Like, all right, fellas, you know what I mean? Can I get in there? Can I rhyme on the mic? Nah, we got it, man. You know what I'm
Nah, you can't get this, dog. You can't get this.
saying? They used to, man, they had it going. They actually had a nice little
Dude, yeah, they were.
run.
Yeah, they were just putting it out, man, just
Yeah,
hustling.
hell
and,
yeah.
and Fred's kept that going.
Hell yeah.
I think all those other guys have stopped except for Fred.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, who was in JCK? They were classified as a gang.
That
What?
was shocking to me.
Could you believe that? Jeff City
was
PD
shocking to me.
classified them as a gang. They're just a bunch of high school kids putting out music
That's all they was doing. They was literally meeting up at Marlon crib.
down the
rhyming-
road.
Yeah, rhyming on the computer.
Yeah.
All right, they'll get a bunch of cool beats, put a bunch of dope freestyles on there.
Yeah.
Print them all up. They'll distribute them right there in the house.
Yeah, man.
Go to school selling them. They had it down packed, you know. People
Yeah.
was actually following what they were doing too. Like
Yeah.
Fred just kept it going.
He's always had that hustler's mentality. But yeah, I know it's him, Brock, Marlon.
Yeah.
Those three those for sure.
Brock
but
was in it too.
I
I
think
know that.
yeah, Brock. I know he at least he got on a couple songs at least. I don't know if he was on all of them, but Marlon and Fred for sure. I don't know who else. Yeah,
Yeah, I
man.
definitely remember Marlon because we lived literally right next door to me, so I would
Okay.
know what was popping. But I used to ask him like, "Yo, when you gonna let me rhyme, man? Like, I actually could rhyme." I don't think he took me serious at all. Like, you ain't a JC killer, so I think it's one of those situations. You just cut my hair, Reace. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
I think that's what it was, but no big deal. Big shout out to Marlon. I haven't talked to him in years, but
I randomly saw him in the airport 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was going to Austin and I saw him.
Really?
Yeah, he was just. I think he was just standing there waiting on his. I guess maybe his wife. I don't know if his wife or fiance or.
I bet that was dope.
Yeah, it was cool. Cool just to see him. It was super random. I'm like, what are the
Right.
odds of this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I bet that was dope.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, yeah. He was big. He was big then.
Yeah, he's always been pretty stout.
Hell yeah, man.
That's funny, dude. So what's next? What's coming up? I mean, you just dropped the one. You said you got one coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got one coming up in a few weeks called Dirty Joe. It's gonna be a 10-track joint. You know what I'm saying? My last joint, people like those songs, but they was like, "Yo, we wanted more music."
Yeah, it was five
What was
five
happening?
songs,
Why you
right?
didn't give us 5 songs? Like, I don't know. Ask Marco. He produced it. He done everything. He was like, "Oh no, let's just give him 5."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no, I want to do more music." They was like, "No, let's just do 5, man." I've never personally done a 5 song EP, but okay, it was new for me.
Yeah, I mean it's an EP.
You know what I mean? And that's actually my first one.
Okay.
And like I said, I got Dirty Joe coming, and 10 Solid, real smooth Chicago production. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be very thought provoking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice, soulful hip hop music. If you like hip hop music, like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you gonna rock with it.
So how do you find time to do this? Because
Like
I
write the
mean,
music.
well, to do what you're doing in the music scene, because I mean, you're working with at full time at school, right?
Yeah, yeah. I work at High Road School. I'm a school teacher. Shout out to my kids. They're so bad. I actually write rhymes while I'm in there with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I have spare time, like while we're having like video time, I'm in elementary school now. Like I was rocking with my middle school class. They moved me from middle school to elementary school. So I got the baby. So when we having like movie time or something like that, that's the quick little window. I fully use it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And my downtime at my other job, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like residential. So I just have to sit there with my client and watch him and make sure he ain't doing off into nothing that he ain't supposed to be off into. But we have developed a core respect for each other, so I can get it in at work too. I be having them vibing, and
Okay.
it's weird because people really connect. You know what I'm saying? Music makes people really connect. Real music, it does.
It really does. It brings people together.
And having my client's family, like literally come across the newspaper and was like, hey, I'm not really, I'm putting two and two together here. You're my son's worker, and here's the newspaper. What's up? Let me know about this. Like, it was crazy. Like,
That's cool.
that was crazy. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
because you put in the work. So you've integrated it into every part of your life.
I have to. You know what I'm saying? I always had that drive, and I always had that knowingly about myself to to really put out what I actually am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's really easy to sit there and create who you want to be through music, but at the end of the day, you have to look yourself in the mirror. And if you don't know that person is looking back, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everything that I do inside of my actual life, it actually takes a toll on my music. When I was writing a lot of hardcore stuff when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? I started working with kids. It made me really shift because I started seeing what music does to kids.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It really pushed me to a space to where maybe I shouldn't do certain things or say certain things.
Start realizing the impact of your words, like the
Yeah,
power that you have.
you know what I'm saying? One of my students taught me who 21 Savage was. You know what I'm saying? I had a student, I can't say his name, but I was giving a math lesson. You know what I'm saying? We were getting it in with math time, whatever. He turned my worksheet over and drew a picture of 21 Savage. And I walked up to him. I said, "Yo, young man." I didn't say yo, but I was in Mr. Baker mode, to be honest. And I was like, "Young man, what are we doing? Like, this is not art time. This is math time. Like, what are we doing?" Well, 21 Savage don't do math. Why the fuck I gotta do math? Oh,
What?
okay. That's a way of looking at it. Let's look it up. I actually pulled up 21 Savage. And I really kept it professional. And it was kind of hard for me to do that, viewing content like that in the classroom. I didn't understand who he was or what he was. He's a new school guy. I didn't know who he was. So I just found it out a better way to really just get to the top of the margin, how I was going to explain to the kid, hey, look here. At the end of the day, what he's displaying, he still got to know how to count.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, whatever he's doing, to get to this point in his career, he has to know how to divide, read. He got to know how to read all these contracts. He got to know how to spell. He got to know how to write. He got to know all of this
You
stuff.
gotta do some basic stuff.
And from that point forward, I kind of cracked the shell a little bit with one of my students, just a little bit, but he's still a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? Music really affects our children. You know what I'm saying? Whether we believe it or not. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I try to stay on the straight and narrow when it comes to me being creative because I can get a little different sometimes, and I don't want to be a bad influence. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I had a lot of bad influences growing up, and I know what that does to kids. And I know that I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, keep that going. So I have to
I can
change
dig
it up.
that. Yeah, I mean that's very admirable. I mean to be that example for kids who may not have that. You know what
Word.
I mean? Do you ever see yourself kind of? I mean, living the life of hitting the road and traveling and doing shows. I know you've been doing some shows around here. Do you kind of see yourself hitting the road and doing shows?
Man, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Marco, we always at somewhere. You know, we actually it'd be hard to make time sometimes, but you know, I hit the road. I haven't hit the road lately, but
Yeah, I would just imagine it might be hard to get away with the school schedule. During the summer, probably be great,
yeah,
right?
you know, I actually get a little active. But this time, you know, I like to stick to my formula that I have. You know, I let the skinny guys have the summertime. Right now, it's time for me to power up.
Yeah.
Like around when it get cold, it's my season. So I pretty much you about to see so much stuff. If you paying attention, you about to see so much random stuff that I'm starting about getting
Y-
off into.
Yeah. Where do
Like
you like to go to do your shows at? You just anywhere?
anywhere, you know what I'm saying. I love to go. I love doing shows home. I
Yeah.
love being home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. It's a certain energy that's home that I like to capture. You know, and I definitely one of my dream shows I want to do before I literally while I'm at independent stage, I still want to do it. I want to do a show at the House of Blues in New York City.
I can dig that.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do that so bad. I don't care if no one's in the crowd. I just want to be there
In that venue.
doing what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I actually want to take a trip to. I've never been in New York City. I always wanted to go. You know, I just want to go to the South Bronx and kiss the ground. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
man, you
saying?
gotta
Because
make that happen.
that's where hip hop comes from. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just want to pay homage.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Just go and just be where it's
Yeah.
at. Just to feel the energy and just smell the smells and hear the sounds
Dude,
and
being from Missouri, dude, like when I was in Cali, I was shocked. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I watch a lot of movies. And everybody that I was around, all the professionals that I was around, they was looking at me like, Reese, what the fuck? Who is this guy? Like, it was like, Reese, why are you staring at a tree that long? I was like, you gotta understand, man, we don't see things like this. We don't see things like this in Missouri. This tree, just looking at this tree is just overwhelming to me, man. You gotta give me a second, man. This tree, this is beautiful. Like for real,
just the
I'm
deep
serious.
appreciation of what you
Yeah,
don't have.
like I went live when I was in Cali. Like you know what? In Missouri, mornings don't feel like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I was out. I forgot where I was at. It was in a beautiful neighborhood. We Airbnb, whatever that is, Airbnb.
Airbnb.
We rented a big, nice joint,
Yeah.
real big, nice joint, and we out there. We deep off in Cali. You know what I'm saying? You can see the mountains and
Uh-huh.
so much other shit. I'm like, you know what? Mornings do not look like this. I would never wake up stressed. How do people wake up stressed, angry here? Like
It's
I
just
don't
too
get it.
beautiful.
Yeah, like I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But man, I like little cool shit. Like I'm just a dorky ass dude when you really think about it. But you know what I'm saying? Like I really appreciate shit like that. They was really tripping off the fact of how we'd slide past Crenshaw and I'd be like, yo, that's the exact same movie set that was in Boys in the Hood and Baby Boy. That's exactly how it looked right there. And they was like, we know.
Like and
We know.
that's funny, man. The
Okay.
things you get used to. You know what I
Man.
mean?
Hell yeah, bro. But, you know,
Uh,
it's so much shit, man, that I'll be off into. I think it's crazy. I got to go back to Cali this year, actually. Well, at the end of this year? No, January. The beginning of the year. I got to go back to Nam. Winter Nam. We'll be in Anaheim, California again, and me and Marco will be out there.
okay. Well, so what's that? What's you say? Winter Nam?
Winter Nam, you ever heard of Nam?
What is
It's
that?
kind of like it's kind of to me it's kind of like a big convention of where all the producers, songwriters, you know what I'm saying, recording program
Okay.
engineers,
Yeah.
creators.
It's like a big
I
convention.
mean, a lot of these people that make loud audio speakers, microphones, all the creators of music,
Okay, it's the place
mu-
to be.
music hardware, software, all of these, you know what I'm saying? Everything that has something to do with music, this is where they gather at and get a chance to showcase new stuff and futuristic microphones, recording equipment, you know what I mean? All types of stuff.
Yeah,
Desks, all types of new school shit
just
that's
every.
coming out 5 years from now. Like it's cool. Like
Yeah,
I'm at
it's like everything in music you don't even think
hell
about.
yeah. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to process too if you really ain't up on all of that. And this is where this is not a spot where you walk up to the artist and be like, "Hey, here's my tape. Here, check it out." No, they will look at you like the corniest motherfucker
It's
alive
like,
if you
why
do
are
this
you
shit.
here? Who let you
Yeah,
in?
like who he with? You know what I'm saying? T Pain was just chilling, looking at this desk, like, yo, this shit's crazy. And I was with Marco. I was like, yo, is that who that is, dog? And he was like, yeah, Reese, that's him. That's him. It looked like him. So I just walked over to him like, yeah, this desk look crazy. And we just was having a cool little conversation. I was like, yo, you T Pain, dog? And he was like, yeah, man, don't tell nobody, man. It was some cool little
Yeah,
Hollywood cool shit. It was fun.
that's cool,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? And I also had a chance to meet Boosie Collins.
Who's that? Boosie
Boosie.
Collins. I know
Dun,
that
dun,
name.
dun, 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 dun,
Okay.
dun. You know, like Boosie Collins old school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What's the guy name put out his record?
I bet if I heard it.
Stay woke.
Oh,
That's the original,
yeah.
but you know,
Yeah, that was Childish Gambino who
yeah,
did that.
Gambino
He
redid
sampled
it.
that.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
redid
know
it and put
Bootsy
his joint out.
Collins. Okay.
And I asked him, I said, yo,
Damn.
how do it feel to have like your music sampled and, you know what I'm saying, still be going to this day? He was like, yo, it's just a gift of doing timeless music.
Yeah, man. There's so many people from that time.
Yeah.
Their music just will forever live on.
Hell yeah. And for him to drop jewels on me and Marco, man, it really kind of rebirthed me and sent me back to Missouri on a
Yeah.
real good note and wave, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still riding that wave. But real good to meet, dude. I never expected him to be that humble. You know what I'm saying? It was very good experience, very good dude.
Well, that's dope, man. It sounds like that'll definitely be like the perfect recharger,
Oh yeah.
kind of moving into, 2019 and
Oh
everything
yeah.
you got going, man.
Oh yeah, I don't know who I'm gonna meet this time, and damn, it's gonna be crazy though. I'll
Yeah.
make sure I post some photos or
Yeah, man. You
you
gotta
know.
go live, man. You gotta
Yeah, see,
Insta story it.
I do
Like,
not do. I'm not used to going live yet.
it's
You know what I'm
hard, man.
saying?
I
Like,
understand, but you gotta treat it
yeah,
as serious as you treat everything else
that's weird.
because, man, content is king, and like the more people you let into your life, like, I mean, followers equal dollars at
Right.
the end of the day. I mean, you have these influencers with all of these followers, and you don't even need a large following. You just need it's just like just it's just giving the people what they want, man. People want to know who you are. They want to know what you got going on, man. It's just a way to connect with the people who love you already.
How did you I was at transition for you for us understanding the new wave of things
Man,
and
yeah,
knowing what influencers are and all of that.
man, I'm just into business and stuff like that, and like I'm not really a big fan of social media per se.
Right.
But this last time I was in Austin, I just kind of was just watching those guys down there at the Onnit Academy, and I was just like, man, they take this like this is serious stuff. Like this is like full time, like this is a job. Like this is real. So I'm just like, all right, man, I gotta take content serious, and I want to produce and provide the best like content that I can, whether that's on Instagram
Right.
or through the podcast. Like I'm gonna start, just writing, and I'm doing some different things with the website now. So just producing quality, good content and just getting it out to the people, man. Like that's just where we are in business today, man. And followers equal dollars. So
Dude,
I'm just trying to. I'm just fucking just taking it so serious. I mean, that's why like I just invest in like like better equipment. That I'm just trying to get it better and better, and
right.
just like this like video for this podcast. Like I just started doing this. Like the first like 8 or 9 episodes had no video, and I
Really.
just started adding it. So I'm just trying to just do better and better. So
Dude, that's so different for me, man. Like,
yeah, it goes against every natural instinct in my body, but it's just kind of one of those things. I just feel like we're talking about like A plus B equals C when it comes to success, and I just feel like this is just part of the recipe.
word, word. I was asking one of my students, you know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, I really play on age a lot, and I really chop it up with the youth. And I ask them, I say, hey, help me understand what does it do for you guys watching someone watching a recorded video of people playing the game.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't get it either.
What is up
necessarily.
with that? Like, and it was like they have this cool way of responding to it. Like that's the new way of life, and it actually is. But you know, us from different times are looking like, hey,
Yeah.
what's going on here? Like, why are we? What's happening?
For good or bad, it's where we're headed, man.
Man,
So,
I have not gotten used to it yet. I've not gotten used to it yet, man, but I'm understanding it.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to understand it as far as, I'm just trying to master the game. It's
Word.
all a part of it. So, hey, man, this has been great. This been just over an hour already. Like,
Word.
shit's just been flying by.
Outside perspective, huh?
Yeah, man, just trying to fucking present a little bit of a different way to look at things. So,
Alright.
how can the folks get a hold of Reace, man?
Man, follow me on all social media platforms at ReaceYung, ReaceYung. A lot of people put an O. I don't understand, but
No.
I do. But no O. ReaceYung. That's how they find me, man. At ReaceYung.
Cool, man. Anything else you want to leave the people with?
Follow me. Check me out. My music is cool. You will not be wasting your time.
Cool. I'll link all this in the notes, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it, brother.
Man, thanks for having me, man.
All right, man. Peace, everyone.
You know what?
And there we go. I'm going to leave you with a song today from The Natural. This is from his most recent album, All Natural. This song is called When I'm Not With You, featuring Slim Kalam and Kylie Herrick. Enjoy.
When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. So wrong, so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. So wrong, so wrong.
You my pencil, you my muse, you my inspiration too. Felt the sparkle, lit the fuse. Girl, this feeling isn't new. Feeling like it's deja vu. Miss your touch, I miss it rough. Is it love or is it lust? Only cared about yourself. All I cared about was us. I can't say your name, and I know it sounds dumb. Blame the Novocaine.
When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. So wrong, so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. When I'm not with you, everything is so wrong. So wrong, so wrong.
When I'm not with you, it is so sad. When I'm not with you, it is so bad. I don't want you away for long, cause without you, baby, everything is so wrong. I don't wanna go through the struggle. I just want you to keep it real with me. Don't have me solving all these puzzles. I just wanna know if you feel for me. Keep it real with me. Would you kill for me? If we end up broke, would you steal for me? I just wanna know before we move past all the pain. Do you really love? Will you be here for me? Do you love me, baby? Don't lie. Don't wanna regret it for the rest of my life. Without you, my world is a song. Without you, everything is so wrong. I wanna be with you forever. Don't leave me, baby. I need you to fight. Together we gon' do this right. We gon' stay up, do this all night. Would you be my ride or die? Please tell me, baby, don't lie. Cause I need someone to be here for me. Please, baby, don't tell me no lies.
When I'm not with